Hello everyone, good morning, especially to our instructor, Ma'am Eleanor Prado. Good morning, ma'am. The purpose of this video is to tackle our report entitled Multisensory Literature Teaching in relation with Edgar Dale's Cone of Experience. But before we proceed to our lesson, I will introduce myself first and also with my group mates. So, let's go.
This is me. My name is Saira Tamundong, and I'm with Debbie Joy Soriano, Lilibeth Trinidad, Melanie Sanchez, and lastly, Mary Grace Sarmiento. And we are the Group 4 reporter.
Multisensory literature teaching in relation with Edgar Dales. Cone of experience.
Good day, everyone. I'll be your first reporter. My name is Mary Grace Sarmiento, and I'll be discussing the key concept of multisensory teaching. But before we start, I have a question for all of you. What comes on your mind when we say multisensory? Well, we are going to talk about that in this lesson. Key concept of multisensory teaching. The first one is humans learn through experience and senses. This means that people understand and remember things better when they can touch, see, hear, or experience them. It's like learning by doing and using our senses. For example, you want to learn how to ride a bike. Of course, reading about it isn't enough. You need to feel the balance, the pedal, and experience it firsthand. The second one is multisensory teaching is fundamental in elementary literacy. So here, teaching kids to read and write should be hands-on and involve different ways of learning like connecting seeing, hearing, moving, and touching. It helps them to understand better, especially at their young age. Okay. The third one is engaging approach using combined senses, sight, hearing, movement, touch. In this, learning becomes more interesting and fun when teachers use different senses at the same time. It's like making a learning cool experience that involves seeing, hearing, moving, and touching. Example, instead of just reading a story, teachers might show pictures, play sounds, or let kids act out parts to make reading more interesting. When I say act out, it's like expressing your thoughts, emotions, or ideas in your action as if you're in a play. Okay. Four is create a strong relationship between learning, experience, and concepts. Connecting what kids learn to their own experience helps them to understand better. It's like making learning personal by linking it to things they have seen or done before. Example, when learning about different countries, connecting it to a family vacation or a friend's culture make it more relatable and memorable for them. So the fifth one is provide kids more than one way to connect with what they are learning. So since every child learns differently, using various ways like seeing, hearing, moving, it helps each student to find the way that best works for them. Example, when learning about animals, some kids might prefer drawing pictures, that is what we call visual learners, while others might like making animal noises, that is what we call auditory learners, or acting like animals, that is what we call kinesthetic learners. So number 6 aids in recalling key information about the literacy piece. So, using multiple senses and experiences while learning a story makes it easier for kids to remember important details later. For example, after reading a story about a jungle adventure, discussing the sights, sounds, and feelings in the jungle helps in helps in recalling the key elements of the story. Okay, so the last one is researchers emphasize involving multiple areas of the brain for effective concept teaching, known as whole brain learning. So, scientists say that using different parts of the brain when we learn is a smart way to understand things better. When we say whole brain learning means activating various brain areas for effective or enhancing the learning experience. And Miss Syra will be the next reporter. She'll continue for further explanation. So thank you for listening.
Researchers on literacy improvement believe that involving multiple areas of the brain is one of the prime ways to teach concepts. This is called whole brain learning. It means that learners won't just use the left and right part of their brain, but the four quadrants of it are used when understanding a certain concept. It is also a very effective way to use in teaching in order to get the attention of the learner and also to keep them focused. Multisensory teaching can be combined with the theory of multiple intelligences by Howard Gardner. By using multisensory literature teaching, the learners can have the opportunity to seek learning style that best fits them. So it is for the learners to understand the whole concept by using their different senses, which is their sight, hearing, movement, and touch. This way, they can learn in every different and comfortable way for them to comprehend what they are supposed to.
Good day everyone, I am Lilibet Trinidad and our topic for today is all about technique and modification in multisensory. Using multisensory activities for advanced elementary grades can develop critical thinking and higher level of reading comprehension. One technique that you can use includes taking turns in reading a poem with some critical thinking questions or photographs in between. In this way, you can ignite the students' multiple senses. So here, educational researchers have found that sensory activities can teach students associate letters or words with sounds faster. So this is very effective and beneficial for those learners with difficulties that needs more of our efforts or simply those students that has difficulties to comprehend in a short of time. Then we have to teach them twice or more in order for them to fully understand. And also the poems with a critical thinking questions that will encourage the student to keep focusing and to help the mind in progress and to respond appropriately. According to Priest and Zhao 2015, one emerging modification of multisensory teaching is multisensory storytelling. While narrating, the literature teacher will aid his or her storytelling by the use of relevant objects, chosen for their sensory qualities like feel, smell, temperature, and height. These objects will give more appeal to the literary text and provide a stronger relevance of the text to the learners. So, for example, may name of the teacher that are using this kind of techniques when we are still in elementary grade so that they will catch our attentions and we can fully understand what is the story about through the use of different objects that shows specifically what's inside to the storybook. This will help the learners to appreciate the story when they have actual objects that can be seen or feel in our surroundings. So next here is a very popular technique in the use of multisensory teaching to enhance reading comprehension is using story sticks. These color pipe cycle sticks will represent each element of the children's short story. Blue stick for this example may refers to the characters in the story. Then the green stick may refers to the setting, and the learners can exchange the sticks and listed to one another while they answer the questions. And also the kids can also be given activities to color or highlight the major elements.
Good day everyone, my name is Debbie Soriano. Our topic for today is all about the 5 following are some techniques you can employ in using multisensory teaching. First is try playing an audio recording or watching a video clip of the narrator while reading a literacy piece as a class. For example, audio recording can help students listen for the tone and voice that can be told for students to recognize like alone control. For narrative writing, audio recording gives students a chance to hear the colorful comparison or folksy interjection in their speech so they have a vision of voice to take to the page. After choosing a narrative topic, we may ask students to use audio recording as a step between brainstorming and drafting. Second is as a way to enhance kinesthetic skills, let the letters build vocabulary, words using letter magnet. For example, flip it are found with letters magnet activities that is the perfect way to work on letter sound correspondence. Turn over all letters in the set face down. Then invite each student to flip a letter. In turn, depending on their ability levels, student can either identify the letter they flip, produce the sound it makes, or say a word that begins or ends with that letter sound. Third is give student video or audio books assignment to take home instead of pure print books. For example, providing access to Women Read audiobooks can support reading skills development. Audiobooks allow students to hear explicit sound of letters and letter patterns that form words. Audiobooks also help students engage in text and gain exposure to more words, ultimately improving vocabulary, comprehension, and critical thinking skills. Fourth is provide children opportunities to draw the meaning of words that they have difficulty to understand in the text. For example, word study provides students with opportunities to investigate and understand the patterns in words. Knowledge of these patterns means that students need learning to spell one word at a time. Fifth is teach students to sound out words while pointing at each letter to solidify a link between sounds and print letters. For example, letter name knowledge is recognizing and naming letters. An example of recognizing letter is when you show a child the letters N, A, and S and ask which letter is S. The child points to the S. An example of naming letters is when a child looks at the letter M and orally names that letter. Sound knowledge is demonstrated when a child can look at a letter in print and tell you the sound it represents. For example, if you point the letter F and ask what sounds does this letter make, the child will say oof, oof, oof.
Hello everyone, my name is Saira Tamundo. My topic is all about the cone of experience by Edgar Deals. So, who is Edgar Deals? Okay, so Edgar Deals, he is the father of modern of educational technology. Okay, and he created the concept of cone of experience. Okay, so this is the cone of experience by Edgar Dales. It is starts to the low into the peak of the cone. Remember that there's a pattern or pagkakasunod-sunod. But yung pagkakasunod-sunod niya is hindi based sa difficulty, which is based on abstraction. Okay, so let's discuss this cone of experience. Okay, okay. Let's go to the lower part. Okay. Okay. This doing a dramatic presentation, simulating the real of experience, doing the real thing. Okay. It means 90% ang matatandaan mo because all of your senses is nagamit mo. Next, participating in discussion, giving a talk. It means if nagpa-participate ka in a class at nagre-recite ka or nagtotok ka, that is a 70% that you will be remembered. Next, watching a movie, looking at an exhibit, watching a demonstration, seeing it done on location. Ang mga bagay na iyan is nakikita at naririnig. That means 50% of that 50% that you will tend to remember because you see and hear it. Next, seeing. Okay? If nakita mo lang, that is a 30% that you will tend to remember because you see it only. Next, hearing words or naririnig mo lang. That is a 20% that you will tend to remember because you hear it only. Next, and lastly, reading. Binabasa mo lang, that is a 10% that you will tend to remember because you read it only. Okay? May kasabihan nga si Confucius na I see and I forget. I hear and I remember. And I do and I understand.